like a Hellcat.
And we're on air. Hello, it is I, your host, Tyrone the Pit Wolf, and I am here with...
Kry the Wusky.
Yep. So, first question. How was your day today?
My day, I slept all day. Something I didn't get to do for a while.
Oh, I slept until like 12:30, I'd say.
I had like a appointment today at like 10 a.m. and then I was like, screw it, so I just fell asleep until this podcast.
Oh, okay. So what about that appointment? Did you ever
yeah.
get to going to that appointment?
Huh?
The appointment, you said you had an appointment. Like, what is that, with a doctor, or?
I just went to the dentist.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It didn't last too long. I'm glad I got to go home kind of early.
I hate the dentist.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I mean, the day is still young. I woke up at 12:30, and I had some mac and cheese and some yogurt for breakfast. I came back up to my room for a little bit, and yeah, it's a new
nice.
day. It hasn't much hasn't happened yet, so I'm
Pretty chill day.
yeah. I guess it's been okay so far.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah.
Anyway, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, when I'm not playing video games, I try to be productive. I like making music a lot, and I do that in my own little area. I enjoy it. Music is pretty much the only thing I really enjoy doing, other than the occasional video games. But yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Actually, I do I do this very weird thing sometimes where I get on TikTok, and other times I do song covers, and of course I've started the podcast recently, which has gone okay. I've gotten 4 episodes finished. This one is my 5th episode, and I hope there's a lot more to come in the future.
Yeah, I saw your one with who was it? I forget the name. It was it was your most recent one. I can't remember the name right now, but I liked that one.
Toggle the Switch.
Your most recent one I listened to.
Yeah, is it like the one where we talked about stuff?
Stuff and Things. These Stuff and Things. It was with oh god, I can't remember what. I don't know. It's not important.
Yeah.
I watched part of another one before I had to go to work.
Okay.
But yeah, that was cool. I like doing podcasts.
Yeah, it was. Most of my podcasts are very unorganized, so there's a lot of just talking about random things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what a podcast should be, in my opinion.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because, structure. I've listened to podcasts with structure and some without any structure, and I like the ones without because, it's more natural instead of just scripted. Because then it's really just a video with no video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, scripted podcasts are pretty boring. I think the point of a podcast should be to talk to people, have a good time, have a blast, drink some root beers, and
I love root beer.
scream.
Yeah.
Ah!
I'll be screaming this Sunday because I'm getting my suit.
Oh, for a minute I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna be screaming this Sunday because I'm going to church. I'm just like...
Going to church, boy!
That's what 90% of the people I know would probably say. I'm gonna be screaming on Sunday for Jesus.
You know what they say, crack open the cold one with the boys on Saturday. On Sunday, we crack open a cold one. Or, fuck, I said it wrong. Sorry. Can I swear?
Crack open a cold one with Jesus.
Okay, yeah. Let me try that again. On Saturday, we crack open a cold one with the boys, but on Sunday, we crack open our hearts to the Lord. Amen, baby.
Yep, I used to be dragged along to church a lot, but I'm not really dragged along that
I've
much
gone to
anymore.
church once ever.
I've been to church a lot in my life,
Just,
especially when my mom was married to her ex-husband. But now she's kind of chilled out a little bit and not drug us to church all the time, though she still talks about God a lot.
yeah, I don't know. I have people in my family that, don't accept that my lifestyle. So I tend not to associate myself with their religion, and
Yeah, me
I don't
too.
know. Eh,
Like,
some
I'm
people are
not gonna
shitty.
murder you if you're a Christian or whatever. I'm not like that, but I don't get the point in it because it's just a bunch of rules and guidelines for your life, and you should be able to make your own rules
Yeah,
because it's your life. You didn't ask for it, so why should you know, live a life you didn't even ask for in any other way besides the way you want to?
yeah. I try to be happy, and for the most part, I am happy. But then some people just try to kind of crush that, bring it down for no reason, and in reality, they're homophobic.
Yeah.
But they try to hide behind their religion. It's like, it's because of my God. It's like, no, it's because you're a prick.
Yep. And sadly, that cover up works as well because a lot of people will be like, "Why don't you accept the LGBT community?" They'll be like, "Oh, it's because of my religion," and then there'll be another person will just be like, "Oh, I understand that. Freedom of religion, after all."
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, they can. I don't care what people think of me or us. I don't know. Um, but if they go public about it and try to bring us down publicly, it's not a good idea to do that. That's starting to be. There's one thing on the Constitution that it's not freedom of speech. It's like the right to express yourself in very paraphrasing terms. But
Yeah.
when you talk about it publicly, that can be a problem because then it starts feeling like a threat.
Yeah. And like even with
Like,
freedom of speech, I feel like there needs to be more of a limit on what people are and are not able to say because I feel like a lot of people still
oh,
get
I getcha.
oppressed, like how free are the people if they're being oppressed with hate speech and such things from other people?
Yeah, I tend not to be political, but I find that the freedom of speech thing it only applies to people who don't have any problems in their life and don't have anything that they can be attacked for.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you that the people that are saying, "Oh, I'm just expressing free speech," are the ones that are actually like showing, hate towards us and whatnot. You know?
Yeah, it's usually them. No one else really seems to be that intimidated by it because so many people stand by this are just so defensive. Like, no one wants to take away your free speech completely. We just want to make sure you're not over here publicly talking about how you want to nuke gay bars and other people find that socially acceptable.
You see, if I'm right, um, I learned this in my class when I was studying it. You can the First Amendment allows you to speak freely, have your own opinion, without threatening or causing harm to other people's rights. That goes with every other amendment.
Yeah, but a
You
lot of
basically can follow it as long as it's doesn't threaten anyone else's constitutional right.
but you see a lot of people that are homophobic or like just that way they don't most of them really don't know how to express an opinion like that without threatening violence or encouraging violence or inciting a mob or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of annoying when people that are homophobic do that. But on the other side, I do agree that some people in the LGBT community or like some people in the furry fandom, they are a little bit too sensitive to that. But that's the very minority. Like, not a lot of people are way too sensitive, as far as I know. Because and when I go to my job, for example, let's say I talk about my boyfriend and what we do this weekend, and then I get weird looks, and it's like, why? It's like, it's 2019. Can't you just not be surprised for once?
Yeah, for real. Like, at my school last year, I did this weird little protest thing that I still honestly want to keep going because it's a good cause. It was called #transphobes buzz off, and for the rest of the school year after I did that, a lot of people who didn't even know me kept giving me a bunch of dirty looks and judging me and all that.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, you're never gonna please everyone.
Yeah, no matter how nice you are or what good things you do, you're just not gonna please everyone. Because well, not most, but a lot of people are just they're rude. They're hard to please.
Yeah.
They're all entitled and Beverly Hills stuck up.
Oh God, I know. So, a funny story. So I came out like 2 years ago. Can't remember exactly. But when I came out to this one specific friend, he was like, "Yeah, dude, I totally accept you, man, but as long as you don't wear dresses and makeup." And I'm like, "That's not really what being gay is. That's just being a drag queen. Like, you can do that. That's a hobby. You don't do that if you're gay." He seems to think that being gay means you want to like be a woman if you're a man, but that's not gay. That's a whole other category.
Yeah, I mean, like, some drag queens can be gay, and most of them are, but that's not overall the whole. That's not just overall all gay men.
Yeah, like
Like,
Shane
there's more
Dawson,
masculine gay men, and then there's
does
more
drag
feminine
and stuff.
ones.
Yeah, yeah. Shane is bisexual. He's not gay. He still does drag. That kind of disproves their theory or his theory.
Yeah.
I know a couple straight people that do. So the thing is, his dad's homophobic.
Yeah.
So he probably learned a lot of stuff from his dad, like a lot of the misconceptions about it.
Yeah.
And then since I'm very likely his only gay friend, he assumed all that stuff about me. Because like, I was always gay and just didn't know it. I'm still the same person, like you knew 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But he thought I changed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he, I can tell he thinks of me differently, but he just doesn't want to say it. You know how that is.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, I totally accept you, and then they, act different.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, another thing he said, he's like, you can be gay, just don't try to get with me. I'm like, bitch, you're not even attractive. Shut up. and then he didn't really talk about it.
Oh my gosh, I remember I used to know this guy who went to school with me. It was like in my freshman year. He's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something really, really personal, and you have to not tell anyone." I'm just like, "Since when have I ever been a snitch?" And he's like, "Okay, well, listen." Because, it was a Christian school. I was the only person he felt like he could come to about it for some reason. I don't know. He had no idea it was LGBT or anything like that. He was just like, "Hey, listen, my best friend just came out as gay. And, I'm a little concerned because I'm afraid he might start hitting on me. You think he'll start hitting on me?" I'm just like, I don't know. You may not be his type. And
It's like, oh god, yeah, I know how that is. I know exactly how that feels. Oh my god. So what did you say?
I was literally just like, I don't know, you're probably not even his type, so you shouldn't worry about it that much.
People need to realize that gay people have types too. Like the friend that I was talking about earlier, he's not my type in the least bit.
Yeah.
We don't have a ton in common, you know, and I know he's straight, so, you know, that's off limits. Like, you wouldn't just go up to a girl wouldn't just go up to a gay guy and try to hit on him. I mean, it happens, but common sense tells you that you wouldn't do that. So why should straight men be scared that gay men will hit on them?
Yeah.
It's a double standard if you think about it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've dealt with it quite a bit, and it's annoying. It's kind of over now.
I
Everyone
mean,
knows I'm
I
gay.
wish people got as angry about straight men hitting on lesbians as they did about gay men on the occasions hitting on straight men, because it has happened before, definitely, but it doesn't happen as often as the straight man hitting on lesbian scenario, and that one's thrown under the bus a lot more. It's like not even acknowledged.
Oh yeah, it's in my eyes, it's very much more acceptable to be gay as a woman than to be gay as a guy in society.
Well, yeah, but
Sure.
they get mostly fetishized because straight men can't stop fantasizing about their boobies and their booties and their boobs and and just trying to figure out how the heck two women do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I also found out that most people that fantasize about gay men and watch all the crazy stuff are straight women, believe it or not.
Yep.
Analytically, that's it's the exact same way on the other side because straight guys like to watch, fantasize about lesbians, and it's the other way around too. But people just don't know it because they're not used to gay guys as much, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Definitely.
I know so many
You
like
go.
right wing conservatives that'll sit here and preach against the LGBT community, but if you look over their shoulder for 5 seconds, you can tell they're watching a bunch of lesbians on Pornhub. That's
Yeah, like they're like, oh, all gay people are gonna go to hell. They're terrible. I don't want to associate myself with them. But then they go over to Pornhub and then they just, you know,
yep.
they okay. On the topic of religion again, just quickly, people that hate us and are intolerant in general tend to only want to follow the I don't know, like the rules of the Bible. I don't know. They only follow the
They only
teachings of the
follow
Bible that are convenient to them.
yeah, the ones that are convenient to them. Like, a lot of these, let's keep this in mind. Divorce is against the Bible too, but you'll see these women who've had 20 divorces dare to open their mouth about the LGBT community. And
I've seen many happier marriages in the LGBT community than straight marriages. Oh my
yeah, and
god.
you see, divorce is
The
supposed to be
divorce
like
rate
one of
is
the biggest
so
sins.
much higher in straight people than not straight people.
Yeah, divorce is supposed to be like a really big sin in the Bible, apparently, but everyone wants to sweep that under the rug so they can blast an LGBT person. You know why?
Yeah,
It's
God is good. I only follow what I want. And also, I find that they mix a lot of fabrics together. Apparently, that's another bad thing in the Bible, but oh no,
oh yeah, and they eat a
it's
lot of
inconvenient for
pork.
them.
Pork is bad. I think pork is bad.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
oh yeah, pork's bad. Yeah,
And apparently, the concept of two people of the same gender loving each other is weirder than a fucking talking snake.
yeah, like
A talking snake.
there's a list of unclean foods for Christians actually, and I think they eat a lot of them. So, unclean foods for in the Bible. Let me look that up.
Yeah. Gonna be a long list.
Okay. Here's a list of clean and unclean, because
people follow it, obviously.
Okay.
Alright, hit me.
Unclean flying animals. Albatross, bat, bittern, buzzard, condor, coot, cormorant, crane, crow, cuckoo, eagle, flamingo. Let me see here. Okay, I don't think I know of anyone who eats these, but I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, land animals. Coyotes, dogs, fox, hyena, jackal, wolves. Okay, I agree with all those. I agree with all the felines. Donkey, horse. If they eat at McDonald's, they're already consuming unclean food.
Yeah. That's a whole other topic. McDonald's is not real food.
Yeah, McDonald's literally serves horse meat. So, yeah. They literally are consuming horse.
Butts and beaks.
A lot of them consume rabbit.
Oh, yeah, rabbit. They do all the time.
Yep.
It's not even good.
And they consume pig, obviously, and...
Yeah, those Christians gotta love damn bacon.
Oh, yeah, and catfish. They also consume catfish.
My god, I just imagine...
Some of the most religious people I know consume catfish on a daily basis. And that's an unclean animal, apparently.
So imagine... I just got a funny vision of, like, a dude way in the south who... Okay. If my connection just randomly cuts out, then I'll be back.
Okay. Da 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 da.
Oh my god, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, but I just got a funny vision. Imagine a dude way in the south, super conservative, super Christian, super racist, homophobic, blah blah blah, and someone comes, you can't have that bacon on the 4th of July, and he's like, well, you're disrespecting my religion. Like, disrespecting your religion means that we literally kill you for believing in God, but, you know, you're breaking all the rules, man.
Yep.
Is my mic on? Is my mic working? Oh, thank God.
Yes,
okay.
it works. But, yeah, catfish is an unclean animal, apparently. I did not know that.
Oh no, we're going to hell for eating catfish.
Yep. Well, time for, like, 90% of the Christian religion to go down under, if you know what I mean.
Yep. I mean, technically, we're supposed to all be going there anyway, because we're, LGBT.
Yeah, but
well, what
think
do I
of
know?
it. But I always think of it this way, honestly, and this is coming from an atheist. Okay, I've actually done a lot of study in the Bible before I converted to atheism, and the only verse it said anything about a man laying with another man and a woman laying with another woman is in Leviticus in the Old Testament. Nothing has been said about it in the New Testament. Just the Old Testament, and that was in the context of child molestation. And the same thing would be punished if child molesters were molesting the opposite sex.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you covered this because my internet just went full potato, but when it says a man shouldn't sleep with another man, it means literally that. That's not referring to homosexual people. It's referring to pedophiles. Actually,
Yeah.
it's not even about gay men. It's about pedophiles. So what people do that follow that religion in today's world, they like to take it literally, and they see the word man, and they see the word man, and they're like, oh, gays, screw the gays, don't, you know, they're breaking all the rules of the Bible, they're disrespecting Jesus, but
Yep.
that's not even what it's about. They take what, okay, so basically what I'm getting from this conversation is they take whatever they want from the Bible to follow that's most convenient for them, and they take everything literally.
Yep.
More so they choose what they want to follow. That's more so what they do, in my opinion.
Yeah, and 90% of the ones I've met are anti-vaxxers, so that does not really help me. Kind of, that does not help me.
Help me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anti-vax. Oh my god.
The
Are
principal
we
at
getting
the
to this
at the
now?
old Christian school I used to go to, he was actually an anti-vax person. He was like, I'm not. Okay, so anyway, he was just like, I don't want to vaccinate my kids because, it's up to God whether. Yeah, those were his literal words. And that was just. That was messed up.
Yeah, but they seem to discredit the viruses that actually kill your kid. God's not controlling squat. God's not doing anything.
Yeah.
They want to. I don't know why they're anti-vax.
There.
There's been no. There have been very little cases of any problems coming from getting their kids vaccinated. Yet they jump on this bandwagon that they see on Facebook. Freaking Karen.
They think that.
Karen, vaccinate your kid.
They say a bunch of stuff like, the vaccines were made by the liberals to turn everybody gay or whatever. That's what most of them say.
That makes me shiver, like cringe. That, oh my god, like their logic is so flawed. I wonder how they're even considered adults, honestly.
Yeah, it's always more like they treat it more like, I don't know. It's like it's messed up. Like, you need to vaccinate your kids. Your God is not going to protect your kids from malaria, and and you're not gonna. You shouldn't let your kid die because you have this delusion that some God is in control of your kid and your kid's life, and that God should be in charge of when your kid does and doesn't die. I mean, like, are you that desensitized to the fact your kid might actually die? Or do you think that's just a part of God's little plan?
Yeah, if the kid dies, goes to heaven, they're gonna be looking down on their parents in hell because they let their kid die based on some stupid belief that everything's every health problem can be fixed with God. That's so far from the truth.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I had this one friend with cancer as a kid, and his parents actually believed that. Hear me out. God, they honestly believed that God would get rid of his cancer completely, so they did not call the doctor. Just let that sink in. A man in the sky, they thought, would cure cancer in their kid, so they didn't send the kid to the hospital. And it turns out that a lot of his life will be cut short because of that cancer, because it wasn't treated fast enough. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was so pissed to hear that.
Yeah.
So, whenever I hear parents say stupid things like that, I whip them into shape with facts. Because they're gonna, ruin their kid's life.
Yeah, I hate that, like, so much. I think
God.
that it should be required to get your kids vaxxed, no matter what your religion is or how you feel about it. I think it should be required by law to get your kids vaccinated.
Yeah, I wish the United States was like that
Yeah,
as a whole.
but they just let people not vax their kids because they're like, oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I'm Catholic. Oh, I'm Muslim. I don't want to vaccinate my kids.
It's like, screw you, it's the law.
Yeah,
like
and it's
like you're going to, it's okay by not vaccinating yourself or your kids. It's not putting risk. It's not only risking you, but it's risking everyone else because it's allowing the virus to mutate.
yeah, it
Like they're screwing everyone over.
yeah,
Sorry, I hate. I don't know.
yeah. They really are. It kind of reminds me of uh that one lady who was in the courthouse of Kentucky. You know where I live. Her name is Kim Davis. She didn't sign a marriage license because it was against her religion, even though she was required by law to marry anybody. Anybody. Gay, straight, anybody. It was her job to sign those papers and to get those people married.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter if it's against your religion or not, honey. I'm sorry. It was your job. You failed. You deserve to get in jail. You deserve the
yeah,
jail time, and people who disagree with me can come at me for all I care about that because she broke the law and
oh, okay. I'll let them connect. Okay, I know I haven't started my YouTube channel very much because I don't have my suit yet and everything, but people are gonna start to realize that I'm not religious. I'm gay, and I have these beliefs that those people are absolute idiots.
yep.
I'm kind of like Artemis Wishfoot in a way, where I express my opinion without any fear of ridicule.
Oh yeah, I know him. I love him. He's a great furry YouTuber.
I know I was binging his videos this morning,
Yeah, he's
but
funny.
I mean, he does live in the UK, but yeah, he
Yeah,
isn't
my
scared to show his
experience with
opinion.
people from the UK is this. Usually they're really outspoken. They don't care what people think. They say exactly what's on their mind at that time. Same with really
Yeah,
Australians and Scottish people. And me.
oh my
I
god,
tend to be like
yes,
that
I have a
too.
Scottish friend, and he is the funniest person. I swear, tells me everything that's on his mind, even stuff
Oh,
about me.
I tend
He's
to be
like,
that type of person too. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm just gonna be here telling you the facts, telling you if you suck as a
yeah,
person, I'm gonna look at you and say, guess what? You suck.
yeah. I don't know. I try to hide my views in public because I can actually get physically hurt for stating my opinion, which is ironic because everyone can they can say their opinion, but a gay guy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've over the years I've learned.
Oh my gosh, the camera, the microphone thing went off again.
No, you're good.
Yeah. It
Uh, I'll say
really.
the last part again. Ever since I've kind of known what politics were and how they work, I just kind of learned to be my own person. I don't follow any trends with religion, anything like that. I don't bash anybody for who they are. I think it's all a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And I actually made more friends like after I stopped caring.
Yeah.
I find that a lot of people, don't want to say it. Like a lot of people that I think are either extremely liberal or extremely conservative, they're scared to express their opinion. So you never know they think the same way as you because they're scared of being ridiculed for their opinion. It's like a huge
Yep.
cycle.
Yep.
Like
Pretty
you know what I mean?
much.
Like when you're talking about politics and everything, and they're like, oh yeah, I feel the same way. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, my friend was all like, she went into the day after that Alabama law happened, where they banned abortions and stuff, my friend went into the choir classroom. She was like, "Oh, I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm really angry about this new law in Alabama regarding the abortions. I don't know how you feel about it, and I'm sorry, but I need to rant." And I'm just like, "Oh, go ahead. I hate that law. Screw it." and then we
Yeah.
and then we just went on went on a class long rant about how much that new law sucked. And it was wonderful because, but we see eye to eye on most things, except I'm a little more extremely on the left than her. But we see eye to eye on most things. So it's pretty great. It's pretty great when
Yeah.
you have somebody who agrees with you on a topic and you all can talk about why you're right and everyone else is wrong.
The thing I also learned to do is listen.
Yeah.
There's this amazing thing you can actually do when you're arguing with somebody, or when you have a disagreement. You can listen to their point of view,
Yeah.
but you can actually let them talk. A lot of people nowadays don't have that skill, where they just want to prove them wrong because they're right.
Yeah, I let people talk and I want to listen to their point of view, but at the same time, if I find like a loophole in that point of view or think that there should be something I can
Christianity.
acknowledge with
Sorry,
what they
got
say,
off
I'm
there.
just over here like, listen, I understand where you're coming from, but here's a point that you should also take into consideration about this. And usually that person will kind of tilt their head. They'll either be like, "Oh, I haven't thought of it that way," or kind of just ignore what I said altogether. Most of them, if they're really my friends, they'll actually consider what I just said.
Oh, I get you.
Mhm.
I don't know. There are a lot of things that are messed up with today in society, but we're young. I mean, I'm not very young, but I'm still young in a way. I'm a young adult, but there's a lot of world ahead of me, a lot of time ahead of me. I
Yeah.
figure just let it go, let it just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Because me alone, I'm not going to change anything. I might not like something, but I will never change it, so I don't try
Yeah.
to.
Well, I always think of it this way, like you can make a difference if you fight hard enough for it. Like I have this mentality of you should never settle for less than you deserve, you know? Like that's my thing. I just don't want to settle if I know I deserve better.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I, you know, I notice a lot of people in the LGBT community complain that their lives are oppressed and everything, but it could be a lot worse in a way if you think about it. Uh, well, okay, I guess I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm not going to speak for everyone. I don't do that. But in my personal experience, if a problem doesn't affect me directly, I don't necessarily fight for it. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah,
Like,
I don't want to like I fight for everyone's rights unless they're an oppressor or they're the reason people are losing rights. And I think they should lose their rights because they're causing other people to lose their rights.
yeah.
But
Yeah, there would.
I won't have as strong of an opinion on like abortion because I've never been pregnant as a bunch of women who have been raped or have gone through that situation have, but I'm gonna support their right to get an abortion because I think that it's overall their choice what they want to do because it's their child that they're carrying, and unless and and like I don't think anyone who hasn't been pregnant before should really have a say in it because, they haven't actually been pregnant before. They don't know the pain of carrying a child and having to crap it out of their life hole.
Yeah, and a lot of his dad is very conservative and he's very anti-abortion. And his thing is, um, you're preventing a life for the kid. by
Yeah.
killing it. And that's obviously refutable because if you give birth to the kid and they're not in a good situation, I've seen people that get abortions are not in good situations to have children, obviously.
Yeah.
When that child is born and the parent can't raise it well enough, where does it go? An orphanage or a foster home, where thousands
Yeah, but
upon
are we
thousands
seriously
of
gonna put
kids are
more
sitting.
kids in a foster home? Because, like, the foster care is already overflowed already, and there's not enough nice, generous people who want to give these kids homes because everyone's selfish and they want to go on about their own life and they don't consider other people. So, are we really gonna give birth to a kid we know is probably not gonna get in a foster home anyway because the foster care
Yeah,
system is so overflowed? Like, you don't know if your kid's actually gonna go to a good home. Why would you risk that?
yeah, exactly. And you might not be financially responsible. And when you give birth to a kid and you can't afford anything, and you end up going into massive debt because of child support and everything, you are now in poverty. Technically, you're in that category. Therefore, you're bringing down the entire, economy bit by bit. You're ruining it bit by bit, and it's not even your fault. You know?
Yeah. Like, the thing is, the two arguments I hear with abortion is, oh, well, if they don't want the baby, they can just put it up for adoption. But you see, there's two things wrong with that. The woman could
Tell that
possibly.
to the kids. Tell that to the millions of kids in orphanages and
Yeah, the
foster
mom
homes. Tell
still
that
has
to
to
them.
go through a painful labor that she didn't even ask for because she was raped or put into a weird situation. And number two, the kids are gonna get probably not even gonna go to good homes because most of the foster parents that are in the system, I'm not gonna say all of them because I know that's untrue, but a lot of them do go into abusive households. And, no one else is. And, these people act all woke like they care about other people's lives, but when they're out of the womb, they're not gonna give a crap anymore.
Yeah, if they cared so much about kids' lives, then why don't they pay attention to the ones that are actually suffering and hating their life and that are already alive?
Yeah.
Like, do they realize that there are kids that they're claiming that they want to protect that are suffering because of the fact that they were born under circumstances?
Yeah. I mean, like, as I said,
That's where
none
the
of us asked to
hypocrisy
be
lies.
born. I mean, like, pe- people are all like, they're so. Society's just cruel. It's just all messed up.
Yeah, totally is. And I'm not like mad when I discuss these things. I'm passionate about it because I know friends who have grown up
Yes.
in foster
Yeah,
homes.
same. In
It's
fact,
it's real to me.
I feel pretty relieved when I talk about stuff like this because I'm letting down some of my issues and putting it all in the air because some things like issues with abortion and LGBT, it needs to be out there. Those issues need to be acknowledged. They need to be out there, and people need to hear them.
Yeah, the only reason I'm kind of not I don't talk about it a lot in real life, like I said, is because I will get hated by someone if I express my opinion.
Yeah.
No matter what the opinion is, I will always get hated by somebody because this country is divided so much right now. And if I have one opinion, it's going to upset somebody. And then if I try to, go both ways, one of them's still going to be mad. So
I
I don't
kind of
please
think
anyone.
about it this way, like people, even if people do get mad at you, there's still going to be a lot of people who agree with you. And so
Yes.
what's the point in worrying about the people that are going to disagree with you if there's also people who are going to agree with you and understand where you're coming from?
Yeah. That kind of relates back to when I said I don't really affiliate myself with politics, is because I don't honestly think I'm going to make a difference by myself.
Of course you're not. No one can make a difference by themselves. It takes a lot of people to talk and spread awareness. That's kind of why I started that hashtag earlier this year. That's kind of why I talk to other people about these things and acknowledge these issues. And if people ask me how I feel about it, I'm going to be 100% honest about it. Because, LGBT discrimination is off the charts right now. And childbirth is one of the it is the most painful thing on the face of the earth, and no one should be forced to go through with it against their will, and I'm going to stand by that because it is the most painful thing in the world, and it should be that person's choice whether they want to do it. Like, if you want to do it, gosh, you're strong. You're a saint. I'm just going to say you're great for having that courage to do one of the most painful things on the planet, but if you don't, that's cool too. You don't have to. It is absolutely not needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually just let the problems go.
Yeah. That's a good mindset to kind of go with, but there's some issues you shouldn't let go, and there's some that you should, like some you like. As I said, we all tend to be a lot less passionate about issues that don't affect us directly.
Yeah. I might have worded that wrong. I care about everyone, but at the same time, if a problem isn't that, super related to me, I'm not going to be as, active in fixing it as if, it did relate to me directly. Because, that's natural for that to happen. Let's say that, gay marriage was going to be illegalized. I would get pissed, and I would fight against that because but other things that don't affect me, I'm still going to fight for them, but it won't have as much of an impact.
Yeah. And I kind of think that's how everyone should be. I don't think we should I think we should fight for things, but I don't think that that if it doesn't involve us, that we should be as crazy as these people over here saying ban abortion, when it doesn't even really affect them.
Exactly. A lot of people that say that abortion's murder, they don't care. They don't care about the kids that are already here. So.
Yeah, and they don't care about actual murder. You know how many school shootings happen daily that get swept under the rug with some crappy little thoughts and prayers tweet?
Yeah, sending thoughts and prayers your way. Oh, by the way, ban abortion. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
I try not to associate myself with any one side, but I definitely have views in both sides.
Yeah, I'm just really mostly left wing because yeah.
And yeah, it's totally fine with me. I don't know what I am, honestly. I don't know what to call myself. Like, I'm gay. I like LGBT stuff, but I love guns too. I don't know.
I mean, no one's goal is to take away guns, really. It's mostly to just, have stricter gun laws on who can obtain those guns and do more background checks and stuff, because gun laws are really loose right now, and anyone can get a hold of a gun right now.
Assuming they don't have any mental illness that is apparent and documented.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Any person can get a background check if they haven't done anything. In psychopathic people, usually don't have anything on their record, so they can get a gun. I feel like a psychological evaluation is necessary for a person that wants to get one.
Yeah, I think there should be a lot more rules and regulations on how we obtain guns. And, there's going to always be this crappy argument of, well, people will still get a hold of the guns anyway. And, it's kind of ironic because these same people are saying ban marijuana, but people are still getting a hold of marijuana. In fact, it's more hyped now that it's illegal because a lot of people get more thrill from doing illegal things. So they obtain marijuana and live that thug life when it could just be normalized. And I feel like that would kind of
Yeah, like I don't want to ban guns. Obviously, I think I do agree with the statement that people will still get guns even though they're banned. But at the same time, I think the right way to fix problems is to acknowledge them right away and make it, not make it hard for people to get them, but just make it safer for
Yeah,
people to get
I'm a
them.
little upset that concealed carry licenses aren't a thing anymore, and I really think they should be. I think people should should like not be able to conceal guns unless they have a license to. I'm
Yeah,
I'm upset that they don't do concealed carry licenses anymore, and
they do in my state, but they're not very strong about it. You really just have to pay money, then you can do it. That's not good at all.
yeah,
I
and
mean, yeah.
even with those arguments gun that people will still get a hold of guns and stuff, that's still kind of a loose argument because that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to make an effort to you know have more control on who obtains guns and whatnot. I mean, I think that the government should try, and if it doesn't try to at least fix the problems, that's kind of an issue.
Yeah. I also noticed that a lot of the school shootings are done by kids with guns that their parents had.
Yep.
So I noticed maybe that, if your kid is showing signs of maybe being unstable or things like that, you should hide your weapon, unload, to where that couldn't happen. I feel like it's a lot of big issues like school shootings and, stuff like that aren't just like one sided. There are a lot of factors that go into that.
Yeah, people shouldn't let their kids be able to get a hold of the gun. If I say, like, if it's in a not in a very good concealed area, that the adult should be fined for their kids being able to get the gun.
Yeah, like,
I feel like they should be
oh yeah,
fined
for
for
sure.
that.
There, I have views on both sides of gun control, but my thing is just you should be able to get anything you want as long as you have a psych evaluation to make sure you're not crazy, and you have an extensive background check to make sure that you don't have any criminal record, and then
Yeah.
after all that process is done, you can get what you want,
Yeah.
but you have to get all the stuff done first.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most realistic way of thinking, because if people want to ban guns, that's not going to help the problem. People get illegal guns right now from across the
I
across
haven't
the borders.
not like even the most far left wing people I know don't want to ban guns. They don't want to take that right from guns away. I feel like people are just like
Because in a
way
way,
too
that's
overly defensive
unconstitutional for
over.
the Second Amendment.
I feel like they're just way too overly protective of their guns, and it's kind of concerning. Like, it kind of concerns me how protective a lot of these people can get over gun laws and stuff, because literally no one I know
I
has said
think
anything about
I think
banning
people
guns. They just
don't.
want to have stricter laws on them.
Yeah, I think people are way overprotective over their guns, not because they want to keep the guns themselves, because they want to have a sense of possession. They want to own something, and they don't want when the idea comes that they should be restricted more. They see that as going against their rights. It's not necessarily about the guns, in my opinion. It's more about they don't. It's like, hey, I don't want to lose something that is I'm allowed to have constitutionally.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize is that we're not taking them away. We're just making it harder to get, so we can reduce maybe some of the accidents that happen with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's my view. Not really far. You know, I share both conservative and liberal views on that topic, just like a lot of them. But I I consider all possibilities, and then make a conclusion that's actually realistic for me.
Yeah.
And even that sometimes isn't good enough for people. I need to have either completely right or completely left sometimes. I don't know.
I say as long as you're like left wing about sexuality and
Oh yeah, by
stuff like
default,
that.
I pretty much am. Like, I'm not gonna hate gay people because I'm gay myself.
Yeah, like most of the time, I usually talk. I don't talk to anyone or associate with anyone who's anti-LGBT, even if they like like I talk to people that are pro LGBT for the most part because that's the issue I'm most concerned with. And like I know a lot of my friends still hold a lot of conservative views about the economy and other things, but if they have liberal views on the LGBT community, that's pretty much all I'm really ever concerned about because those issues affect me personally, and I I want to be around people that support my rights.
Support you, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think the country is so divided, is because people have, like, there's such a difference between the generations. Like, there are like four different generations in society today.
Yeah.
And I find that when that happens, we have a lot of different views. People tend to want to only be with the people that share their views, and that's how it gets divided.
I feel like a lot of the mentality of the boomers is a big problem because they feel entitled to everything because they're older.
Yeah, it's not because of their age necessarily. It's because of how they were raised. I don't really blame anyone for having conservative views. If people support our president and stuff like that, that's okay because they were brought up that way. They were brought up with a different way of thinking. But I think I wish people would just learn to accept other people's point of view without bashing them and dividing themselves from them.
Yeah, I mean that's according to how terrible your point of view is and whether or not it's forgivable to me. And like if you say something like gas the Jews or gas the LGBT or something like that, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm gonna shut you down immediately. Or, say something like, oh, I support pedophilia. Like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot you down immediately, but like on most other topics as long as you're not advocating for violence or hate against another person, I'll listen to you for the most part. But I'll also try to enlighten you on why I feel the way I do and why I feel like it will be in your best interest to kind of acknowledge how other people feel about it. Hello? Well, I guess that's the end of the podcast, folks. So, yeah, I just...
Yeah, my internet is ultra potato.
Oh, hey, you're back. So, you think we should stop the podcast now, or... It's up to you.
It doesn't matter to me. How long are we at?
We're at pretty long. I have to do some editing with it before posting it, so...
Yeah, is your thing turned off?
No, it's on.
Oh, you're just gonna edit it out?
No, I'm just gonna edit... I'm just gonna, edit the... the sound tracks kind of mixed up a little bit with my editing program, so I'm gonna unmix those and...
Oh, I get you. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah. So...
But yeah, we had a good podcast. I like that.
Yeah. Well, we will see you all on the flip side. Bye, lovers!
See you later!
And yes, it's gonna stick.